Hey guys, what's going on? This is Daryl Addison at Torpedopot.com. Daryl Addison at Torpedopot.com, and this is our mint. Boy, it's a far cry from what we planted a couple of months ago. We got these as seedlings from our grower, and now they're growing so fast and so much they're outgrowing our planter. I can't keep up with eating them. So when it comes to storage ideas, I have to rely on you to give me some ideas of what we need to do. So we started these as seedlings about four months ago, and now they've outgrown this pot. In other words, the feeding cycle that I have going on through this pot is feeding them very well, is giving them the water. I fit them with a little bit of nutrition, and they did extremely well. And I'm very happy with what's going on here. And so what I've got to do now is go back. I've got to cut them back, and I hate having to cut these plants back because they're so beautiful. And not only beautiful, oh my gosh, but they're so powerful. This is a Torpedopot. It grows your food with no human intervention, so much so that my mint is now starting to provide seeds for me. And that's what I want you to do. I want you to learn to build a sustainable garden. I don't want you to grow your food thinking that, oh, I eat it and it's all gone. Some of these will go to head and they'll go to seed. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to let them go to seed. I'm going to let them, because I'm going to harvest them next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. Torpedopot is a sustainable growing solution that you should never, ever have to worry about buying food again. I know, I want you to hear it. Torpedopot is a sustainable growing solution that grows your food for you, that you don't have to grow your food anymore. It grows everything for you. Let me tell you how effective this is. For 3 years, we've been growing mint in pots like these. So every year, the root system, mint is just so evasive, it's very aggressive. And when you put it in the ground, it takes over everything. That's why nobody likes to put mint outside. But when it's grown in a containerized system, you know you have it accessible and readily available for you 24 hours a day. You understand me? When the season that it's growing. What I'm going to do now is that I realize I have all of this mint accessible. So some I'm going to eat, some I'm going to use for various purposes, decoration purposes. I use it in my food. It's used as a sweetener in my food. I use it in my teas. I normally grow like 5 different types of mint: apple mint, spearmint, peppermint, and I grow them all together and within their own planters, and they do very well. This year I just got my spearmint from my grower. I really haven't did much, and as you can see, they're all starting to develop. Now, I normally cut them down before they start to develop into these flowers right here. Isn't that beautiful? And before they start producing their seeds. And I normally cut them down. I store the seeds. Why? Because, excuse me, I store the seeds because a lot of my friends and family members would like to try experiment with Torpedopot on their own and to do things that have never been done before. So what I've got to do now is that I've just cut down my eggplant for breakfast. Oh my gosh, this just smells so good, guys. Let me tell you something. Natural food smells so good. So my eggplants I've cut down, my tomatoes I've cut down this morning. I picked up some cucumbers this morning, and now I want to be able to deal with this mint. Now, I don't know how to store mint, and I'll need some ideas from you. I am a technical grower. Torpedopot is an invention that I created that grows your food for you. So I'm not a plant expert. I'm not an agronomist. I'm not a horticulturalist. I'm none of those things. But yet, I understand how plants grow. And I developed a solution for growing them so that I can give to you so you can grow your food and make food available for you and your family. So what I do is I get with those cooks, people who know how to cook, and ask them who know how to can, how to cook, have used this mint before, and have used it in their family line as an heirloom or whatever they decide to do, to learn from them, because we all can grow together in this paradigm. Again, I'm just a technical person. I'm the person who understands what this planter can do and what the potential is. But I need each and every one of you to step up to the plate and help us determine how we want to grow our mint and what we're going to use it for. Now, Torpedopot grows your food so you'll never have to worry about food again, okay? If you worry about food, then you're doing something wrong. I want you to have complete sustainability over and over and over again. Torpedopot will get you there. With that being said, this plant is so powerful. How do you use mint? Well, After you've grown it in a torpedo pot and you're growing it organically, I hit it with a 3-12-12 solution maybe about twice this year, but you really don't have to do it for mint. Mint is very aggressive. But I hit it with a 3-12-12 solution this year. But what we normally do, the root systems that are inside of the planter that you see here, after the growing season is over with, it comes back the next year. All I do is that I throw soil on top of the planter, and it continues its growth going into the late spring of the following year, and they will pop up over and over and over again. That's how we handle our mint. Just like it's invasive and takes over the ground, torpedo pot allows you to grow your mint so you will never run out of a supply of mint. If anything, the root system will get so bulged in here and it would take over this planter, and you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to cut pieces out of the root system and put them in other planters or give them away to people so they can have their share of mint. And that's what this is. Nobody owns this growing paradigm. Nobody created plants. There's no man who created plants. There is no technology will tell you how to develop something as intricate as this plant right here. There's no technology out there to do that. Man, it's so strong. It's amazing. There's no technology out there to do that. All of this is natural. So this food has been growing without any human intervention for thousands of years. What makes you think that we know how to grow plants? No one knows how to. No one knows how. No one can grow a plant. I always tell my constituents, did anybody grow you? Did someone walk up? Did your parents say, I grew that child? No, of course not. See, I developed it like a torpedo pot develops your plant. I matured it. I trained it how to grow, but no one can grow a plant. So I want you to stop trying to grow plants. With that being said, if you can't grow a plant, then everything you see on the shelf that tells you how to grow plants, throw it in the trash. You don't need it anymore. Because plants grow by themselves. They have their own growing mechanism just like you do. Okay? So if you can't grow a plant, I want you to be able to tend for a plant. And people ask me all the time, Mr. Addison, well, how do you tend for plants like you have? You know, how do you tend to a plant? I mean, well, don't you need tools? Well, remember, if the growth is natural, then why do you need tools to grow a plant? You don't need tools to grow a plant. You cannot grow a plant. The only thing torpedo pot does is create a perfect environment in every way. From the material science, to the watering, to the evaporation, to the flow itself, to the soil, building up microbial environment in that soil, from stopping emitting the wrong microbes from growing in the soil. It builds a biotic environment so your plant now can survive and do what it needs to do. I love my mint. Your mint, when it's grown in a torpedo pot, is not just an invaluable tool for you to eat. Understand, it's used in toothpaste. It's used in medicine. It's used in foods. It's used in textiles. This mint is an amazing, amazing plant. And we have yet to understand all the properties of this plant. And that's why I'm doing this, because I want you, your responsibility is to find out the applications. As we start our agricultural blockchain, we're going to pull from all of you, all your resources all around the country to achieve our goals. Torpedo pot is a growing paradigm which allows us to have many torpedo pots all around the country. And if we do that, then we can draw from each one of these units and pull food in order to feed the world. You are the next agricultural farmer. You are the next agricultural giant. You are our agribusiness that we've been looking for. And we'll be doing it through torpedo pot. Don't let anybody tell you differently. Food is the new gold. If you miss out on the opportunity to grow your food and to capitalize on its growth, then you're going to pass out like they did in Silicon Valley. Remember now, everyone has to grow food for the future. You cannot grow healthy food at the rate and way we're growing it right now. People are asking ourselves, Mr. Addison, well, we have the wellness industry and we're getting organic food. Please understand, the baby food that you're getting, it's the same quality food that you're putting in your mouth when there's synthetic chemicals inside of your food. You think your babies are immune from the systems that we have, agricultural systems that we have set up, that's not really giving us the nutrition that we deserve? No, nobody's immune from the way we're growing food. I'm not coming down on anybody. I'm very grateful that people have chosen to grow our food. I'm not begging anybody. But when you have a new technology, we have to make that trend over to new growing technology so we can eat healthier and be healthier. Dude, we're humans. We can figure this out. And we can do it together. Darryl Addison, torpedopot.com.